It's a privilege to be here, and it is a privilege again to be here talking about our hopes, our dreams for a democratic, free Iran, free from oppression and torture and execution, an Iran where its people can express themselves without fear, a long overdue Iran where people can choose their government in free and fair elections, Iran that will live at peace with its neighbours and the rest of the world, and as we heard earlier, where its rich resources are diverted to the needs of the people, not the needs of oppressive systems and exporting terrorism. And we heard it today, and we'll hear it many, many more times. This is about the people of Iran, but it's also about the safety of the world, the safety of people in this country and throughout our generation and generations to come, because of the global threat that Iran represents, the export of terrorism, the pursuit of nuclear technology. And I want to dispel one myth, and it's a myth sometimes perpetrated by our opponents throughout the world, that somehow the PMOI is some minuscule political clique. They call it a clique, they call it sometimes a cult of personality. I would say inspirational movements need inspirational leaders, and that is what Maryam Rajavi is, an inspirational leader. The tens of thousands of people, exiles, driven out of their country, who care about their homeland, representative of the people there. If the PMOI wasn't if its tentacles didn't reach into every part of Iranian society, how is it that by popular admission it was the PMI's work on nuclear proliferation which alerted the world to what was going on and the building up of nuclear weapons? And we have to recognise that this is the legitimate movement, the legitimate representative movement of the Iranian people. We here salute the residents, those 100 or so people in Camp Ashraf. We salute those many more people in Liberty, Camp Liberty. They represent the strong will of the Iranian people for democratic change. It is to the shame of many of us, and certainly our governments, that we have not provided the necessary protections for them as genuine refugees. It is a shame on the civilised world that Mr Maliki was allowed to do the bidding of the Iranian regime. It's a shame that Martin Kobler, as we've heard, is still in his place after being exposed as, at its very least, lacking advocacy of the principles of the United Nations. And we are again delighted that Mr Boumedjah is here again to tell us and shed us light on the darker parts of the deal between the United Nations and the Iraqi government. We need to send a message to our colleagues and comrades in Ashraf and in Liberty that we are proud of you. You are brave symbols for all of us, and we will continue to do what we can to reduce your suffering and improve your living conditions. Your perseverance has given us hope and encouraged us to believe that with such vanguards, Iran surely will be freed, and the day we will gather, one day in my lifetime, sooner rather than later, in Tehran to celebrate democracy and a genuine democratic republic.